Being a professional makeup artist has taken me to some beautiful places, and the most recent one is Honolulu, Hawaii. And because I'm your very own personal beauty pro, I'm going to share with you the key makeup pieces that I took with me, along with some fabulous packing tips that you can incorporate into your travel. Hi pretty people, it's Crystal, your very own personal beauty pro. And if you are new here, I actually am a beauty pro. I'm a professional working makeup artist. I work in what's called commercial or advertising. I also do editorial. I've done many a fashion week. And what I love doing is sharing those professional tips and tricks with people who might not otherwise have access to an actual professional. I love encouraging, entertaining, and educating you through beauty. My most recent booking as a beauty pro was on the gorgeous Oahu, Hawaii, in particular in Honolulu on Waikiki. I was there for multiple business opportunities, including filming some content for brands. In addition to filming equipment and the various things that I would need to film, of course I had to pack beauty for myself. I know that there are some of you who would enjoy seeing the makeup and beauty that I packed for the trip. After quite a bit of travel and probably a bit of a natural talent for organizing, I am a pretty good packer, and I have some great packing tips for you that are going to help you to make sure you have your beauty essentials without weighing your luggage down or getting stopped by TSA. If you're a girly girl like me, then you like to have all your goodies with you. You like options. You want a variety of fragrances and makeup, selection of outfits and shoes. You want a lot of just in cases. Sometimes you can end up with too many just in cases in your suitcases and come home with a lot of things you never even wore. I love travel, especially after check-in, when you can just settle down and have a beverage, catch up on your reading and your movies. But we all do have to go through that check-in and luggage process, and it's so much easier when you don't weigh yourself down with unnecessary things. And one of my top tips for packing is one that may sound obvious, but believe it or not, a lot of people still don't do this. That is packing travel sizes and reducing your full-size items down to travel size. You do not want to pack your entire bottle of lotion, a full-size toothpaste from your bathroom, and things like that. So if you have things you really love and really want to take with you that may not come in travel size, or perhaps you don't want to invest in extra product, then break those things down into travel size containers. Whether it's Walmart, CVS, Target, Amazon, there are plenty of places that sell empty travel size containers. So whether you have liquids that you want to be able to spray, or you have gels or creams, shampoos, conditioners, things like that, they have these really nice silicone containers that are squeeze containers. And unless you are moving away for months on end, you would be surprised how much products these hold, and they will get you through a week to 2 weeks. I'll be sure to link some of my favorites, but they have sizes and styles for all of your needs. And then there are, of course, the usuals: toothpaste, disinfectant, contact lens solution, things of that nature. Another thing I like to do is bring Ziploc bags, and in those I will have like body wipes, also sanitizing wipes so I can disinfect surfaces at hotels and on the airplane. Another thing you want to break down into travel size are your fragrances. Yes, we love our beautiful perfume bottles, but we really want to leave those at home for several reasons. One, they're big and bulky. Two, you risk damaging them. And also they can get heavy really quickly. For your fragrances, there are so many beautiful decanters. This particular style turns up. They have a funnel and you can spray your fragrances into these and carry them with you. They take up much less space, and you can also travel lighter but bring a wider variety of fragrances. Now when it comes to my professional kit, I have that down pat. I have a specific method for breaking things down and minimizing liquids and creams, because for the most part I like to carry my pro kit on, because it would be tragic if I got to a destination and they had lost my makeup kit, not only because of the expense, but of course because it would make it very challenging to do my job when I arrived. On this particular trip, thankfully, I only had to carry certain products and not my full kit. So on this trip, my main makeup was my own personal makeup. One of the things that I love and find to be an absolute gem for packing your toiletries and your beauty products are those hanging organizers. And you've probably seen some version of these. This is an example of one that I really like. It has so many compartments. Once it's all packed, it condenses down into this nice handbag. In the rear, it even has nice additional storage and brush compartment. The other bonus for products like these are that when you get to your destination, you can put away a few things, but a lot of things can remain in here and you can just hang it in a closet or on a door hook, and it keeps your room nice and neat, because there's nothing glamorous about a room that looks like a disaster area. I like my pretty things to still look organized and pretty even when I'm traveling. Another tip that I want to share with you: the best time to pack is when you are not under pressure. If you have to travel on short notice, which oftentimes I do, then sometimes you may not have a long time to prepare. But there are others, like vacation, where you know well in advance that you're going to be traveling. That's the time when you're in your right mind to create a packing list. Create a simple table or a spreadsheet. Lay out all the days that you'll be away and what you plan to wear and what you think you'll need. You can add and subtract. There are a lot of good resources online, and you can look at some packing lists, and a lot of times that will ping your memory on what you should add to your packing list. And then you can set aside a little area and little by little start to place piles there to pack. That makes it less frantic, less likely that you'll forget really important things. And I keep my packing list down until the time I'm walking out the door. Now let's talk about what I actually packed. I bought Estee Lauder's Futuriste Aqua Brilliance Watery Glow Primer. I've talked about this on the channel before. It has a hydrating effect, then it settles and dries down to a silk-like finish. Glowy, but not greasy, so it gives the skin a healthy radiance. It creates a beautiful smooth base for your foundation to lie down. I brought two of my gangster foundations. Now for my actual flight to Hawaii, I wore Double Wear and I wore Makeup Forever's concealer, and I will have to share that in a future video because that combo was just fabulous, and I looked flawless at the end of an almost 10-hour non-stop flight. But what I brought with me is Estee Lauder's Double Wear Maximum Cover. Also demonstrated these. These are a high coverage, true full coverage. This can be used on face or body, but with body, you really need to know how to set it. It's self-setting to a degree in that it's pretty budge resistant, but it does need to be set fully so as not to transfer on to clothing. Made a couple of videos about how to keep makeup off of clothing, and I'll have to do another updated one for you, but there are some very reliable methods that you can use. Now, of course, you still want to be careful around clothing, especially white. And you know, you have some people who, rather than just give you a normal hug, practically put you in a headlock. So if someone almost literally scrubs their clothing across your face when they're hugging you or greeting you, then yes, they may get some makeup on their clothing. But if you just have light contact, or if you're wearing makeup and you're wearing a white collar, there are ways to keep that makeup from transferring onto your collar. But I brought this because sometimes you just need to get to the point you want a beautiful, flawless, full coverage, long wear foundation. And these travel really well because they're in these great squeeze tubes. And if you're an oily skin girl, these sit really well on oily skin. Now, I have found that if you have drier skin, you don't really need to powder these. Otherwise, they can get a little drying. If you're very dry leaning, moisturize really well, but the coverage is impeccable. And I also wanted to balance that foundation option for days when I just wanted something less matte. I still wanted a beautiful, nice, even complexion and a nice coverage, something with a touch of natural radiance in the skin, but not too dewy. So I decided to bring my Ambient Soft Glow foundation. I have used this a few times and I like it, but I've never really taken it for travel with me, so I wanted to put it to the test and see. It's a very pretty foundation if you can find your shade. It gives a nice even coverage and it gives a high medium coverage, so it does add a lot of perfection to the skin. Hourglass concealers are beautifully formulated. They sit really pretty under the eye. They're lightweight and they give a nice coverage. I brought MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish. This was such a beautiful addition to my makeup routine while in Hawaii. A beautiful soft set because I still wanted a touch of glow in the skin. I didn't want it to be totally powdered down. This was perfect. Now, if I wanted a longer lasting set or a more bulletproof set, as I like to say, I would use a loose True setting powder. But for the look I was going for on most days, which was usually quick and easy because the trip was primarily working, this was the perfect touch. And then for areas where I wanted a bit more of a true set, like in the T-zone, and I had Laura Mercier's Ultra Blur powder, and this is a cute little travel size. One thing about Sephora I really love is that they have a huge selection of travel size makeup and beauty. And because I had the Hourglass foundation and concealer, I thought this was a great time to break out my little travel Mineral Veil Hourglass powder. Generally, call times are super early, 5, 6 a.m. And I may not get to look at myself again until many hours later. You need to set it and forget it. That's when Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless Setting Spray came into play. Comes in a great travel size. I love this because it gives a bit of hydration before it sets. It leaves a beautiful, almost satin-like sheen on, but then it also helps set the makeup into place. Let's talk about lip products, one of my favorite products, because really, if you're having a beach day or a busy day, if you just touch up the complexion, groom your brow, have a little mascara, add a little lip, you are set for the day. For lips, I was so proud of myself. I brought 3 key lip pencils, but MAC's Plum, because it is a beautiful soft plum, as the name suggests, and it goes beautiful with your pinks and your natural colors. You can even do some nudes with this tone, blend it down onto the lip. Cherry is nice with your reds, your oranges, and then a nice brown for your complexion. In my case, I brought Cork, so that goes with a ton of shades. Dior's Rouge Couture lipsticks are some of the most gorgeous lipsticks on the beautiful formula. I especially love their matte formula. I like to have a nice nude for every day, and you can gloss it up or you can leave it matte. This one is a beautiful soft pink and it almost has a touch of gray in it, but with that Cork lip liner and a beautiful gloss, it is so expensive looking and beautiful, but simple. This is also a Dior Rouge Velvet. It's their shade 999, a stunning red. A lady should never go anywhere without her classic red lipstick. A gorgeous shade and a gorgeous formula. Be sure to pack your red, and by red I mean red, not old bitty burgundy. Wanted another nude option since that first one is a little on the cool side. This one is a little bit more warm. This is a beautiful caramel brown. This is MAC's Call It Cozy. I'm super close to my complexion, but I've actually demonstrated this in a recent video. I also brought a popping coral because how can you go to Hawaii and not have at least one vivid coral lipstick in your arsenal? That is the gorgeous MAC Vegas Vault. Then I brought a coral that's a bit more of a burnt coral. This is MAC's No Correlation. That's it besides Vegas Vault. A girl must have her lip gloss. So I bought 2 of Dior's beautiful lip glosses, and I'll be sure to put the shades in the description box. One is like a delicious latte nude, and the other is a scrumptious patent leather shine red. For eyeliner, I brought my tried and true Pat McGrath. It's super black, it sets in place, and it's gorgeous. Danessa Myricks Line Work Liquid Liner in Onyx is officially a keeper. It's a beautiful formula, jet black, glides on even and intense. The applicator tip is super fine. Now this next category is where it gets challenging for me, because I like options, and I'm sure some of you can relate. Some girls like shoes, some girls like clothes, some girls have to have all their earrings. Fortunately, I like all of the above, and I need a selection of eyeshadows. So at first, I think I had like 4 palettes, and then I came to my senses because packing, I'm like, I'm going to need green, blue, red, suppose I get in the mood for gold, and the list goes on and on. In reality, you don't end up wearing a lot of things you had in your imagination. So I narrowed it down to 2 eyeshadow palettes. One, if I was feeling fun and fabulous and colorful, took one of Danessa Myricks Lightwork palette. It has these spectacular color options in these delicious shimmering formulas. You can keep it relatively simple by just using 1 shade, or you can create an eye extravaganza. And then for everyday options, I chose one of Pat McGrath's Mega Motherships. This particular one is the Celestial Odyssey, but I like all of the ones that I actually tried. This is beautiful. You have your everyday, quick, casual day looks, or you can intensify it, make it evening and smoky. And in true fashion, even with those options, what I ended up reaching for most was my Hourglass face palette. In the end, I ended up reaching primarily for one of the pinks or the golds, and then that brown finishing powder to do a really clean eye. I really love this palette. A great one-stop shop, and that's exactly what I ended up using it for. Use that deeper finishing powder as a bronzer, also as a lid contour shade. I use the others blushes and highlighters to complete the face. With just those couple of blush options, I could go more peachy, or I could go more pink berry. And although I really wanted to bring some of my other blushes, this was perfect and I did not miss them. What kind of girl are you when it comes to packing your beauty products? Are you more of a minimalist, or do you like to make up to the max? I hope you had as much fun watching this video as I had preparing it for you. I look forward to seeing you in the very next video, but until we meet again, keep it pretty.